Did you know that you can play PlayStation 2 and Nintendo GameCube games on your Xbox? Let's look into this. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I would like to talk about emulation on consoles. And even though that topic is not entirely new on consoles, because for example, you can run all bunch of older emulators on original Xbox even, right? And it works just fine. But today I want to focus on emulating a little bit newer consoles like PlayStation 2 or Nintendo GameCube or even Nintendo Wii U, if I'm not mistaken, right? So we're talking about like games that are like 3D and more demanding basically, right? Now I want to focus on Xbox Series S and X emulation for the most part, like meaning running these emulators on Series S and X consoles. Now, the thing about these two consoles is that they are powerful enough to actually handle these emulators no problem. Now, I think you can actually still try to do it on like Xbox One or even Xbox One X, but CPU in these consoles is just too weak to actually handle these emulators well. And the thing about emulation is that the most demanding thing about it is that the CPU work, right? So CPU needs to be quite powerful, and that's what we actually have on Xbox Series S and X consoles, because they come with pretty much the same CPU. That allows these consoles to run these emulators of PlayStation 2 and Nintendo GameCube just fine. Now, the great thing about the emulators overall is that some games that were 30 on these consoles, now you can run them at 60. So that's great, fantastic news as well. Like I get that on PC, and trust me, like playing Zelda Breath of the Wild on my PC in 60 frames per second high resolution is just like a totally different experience than the native on GameCube, for example, or Nintendo Wii U or whatever, right? Now obviously that's PC, but you pretty much get the same thing with these emulators on Xbox Series consoles. Now, how does it work? Well, the good thing is that it doesn't require any modding, right? Because obviously modding is not really that great for your console, because it may break it and you lose warranty and such, right? Now, what you actually need is dev mode enabled on your Xbox Series consoles. And well, actually, I think that's the best approach, the best way to do it, but you don't necessarily have to do it, because you can still try to run these emulators in the retail mode, so just like as you would run all other games on Xbox. But the thing is that by doing that, you risk that your console may be banned, or your some parts of it may be banned, or that particular application may be actually removed from your console, right? So I don't think that's the best way to do it. Like there's ways to do it, but just to stay on the safe side, I would just turn dev mode on your console. And here's the trick. In order to enable dev mode on your console, you have to be registered on Microsoft website. You literally register yourself as an independent developer, right? And that allows you to actually switch your Xbox Series consoles into a dev mode. And in that mode, even though you don't have access to your other Xbox proper games, not automatically, you have to switch it back to like a retail mode, and that's not a problem, right? You don't really break your console. You can still use all other applications as you would normally do, right? But in dev mode, you can actually run unsigned code, unsigned applications, so not properly tested and certified. But that means that you can actually run all these emulators no problem, and you will not get in trouble for that, right? And there's a number of emulators. There's like 2 PlayStation 2 emulators. There's some PlayStation emulators. Now just recently we've got a Dolphin emulator, which is literally the Nintendo GameCube emulator on that console. and it runs great just fine. Like, I've seen a number of videos where people would be playing these games at 60 frames per second, higher resolutions, because you can actually switch to like 4K or 1440p. Now, obviously, with some of these older titles, you still get the 4:3 kind of aspect ratio when it comes to actual graphics, but that's the way these games were built. But there's actually, especially on GameCube, there were a number of games that did support like 480p, so that you would get like a proper 16:9 aspect ratio, so no black bars on the ends of the screen, right? So obviously that's fantastic news as well. So listen, like, looks like with that dev mode, which, like I said, is the better way to handle the emulation because it's just safer. Yeah, it looks like there's going to be, like, Xbox is becoming one of the best homebrew kind of like a console, and that goes for both Xbox Series S and X, because you literally can do all kinds of, well, really, thanks to that dev mode, you can even make your own games on Xbox and tested it and that kind of stuff. Use still extra tools, SDK on your PC, but you can do it, right? That's the way, you know, that code runs. And for those of you that are worried that, oh, you know, but if I register and I switch to dev mode, I won't be able to play my Xbox games. No worries there. You can still do that. It's just like you can turn it off, switch back to retail mode, and and Microsoft will not say a thing. And all you have to do is just like download a number of games on your USB and have it connected to your console. And whenever you feel like playing these emulators, like, you switch back to dev mode and play them from USB, right? So, like I said, the only trick part is that you have to register. And also, very important, that registration actually costs money. And I think it's around like $100 or $150. I'm not really sure. So if you really want to run these emulators, I would just pay. And yeah, because you will, at least you know that you're not really going to get blocked by Microsoft for, running some, games that, Microsoft may think you shouldn't really, right? So, just to stay on the safe side. Like I said, emulation is great. Obviously, I still recommend you owning the original copies and, having just a backups running on your console and stuff. So, make sure you buy discs and stuff. So it's, we don't want to support piracy and that kind of stuff, but it's also really like, game preservation kind of program, right? It's like if your disk breaks or something like that, you still got a backup of that game on your hard drive or something, right? So it's cool to have as well. So anyway, guys, yeah, that's the video. Good to see that happening on consoles too, because there's so many great games on these older consoles still, and now you can enjoy them with still on a console, basically connected to your TV, and at high resolutions and better frame rates sometimes. And I think that, like, moving forward, because I think that the first emulators started appearing on Xbox like a year, maybe 2 years ago, and at first they were not that great when it comes to actually compatibility and performance, but now they are much better. So I can only imagine that there's going to be even more in for other consoles as well, and these consoles come with Zen 2 based CPUs, which are quite capable. So who knows, maybe some other consoles in the future. Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 emulator, why not? I mean, I think that there's some emulators for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 on PC already, but I don't think they are that well optimized just yet. So, you know what? I think it's just a matter of time. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for support. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next one. Take care.